Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me for my second week on the segment towards the release of my first book, due out mid-December, and the title of the book is called Live Now. My whole goal in this is to interact with you, if you will, me via video, you by the emails and the comments, and the things that you can say back to me are great. Last week's comments were absolutely wonderful. Thank you so much for taking the time to share those with me. Because this goal is ultimately to help all of us live now and to appreciate the very life we have before us, as opposed to always regretting the past and worrying about the future. Now, last week's challenge and homework was based on the part of the book that's called No Regrets. And that was just to not live in that moment, to just try and embrace the positive things. And at the bottom of the screen, you'll see a little bit about last week that I talked about the homework challenge. So for those of you that missed it, please check that video out. It's on our YouTube account, or look at the bottom of your screen. But right now, I really want to spend on another part of the book. It's something that we're all guilty of. It's something that we all go through all the time. And that's reacting to things as opposed to responding to things. And I encourage us to take a moment to understand what I'm saying. I'm saying that when something happens, from a simple email that gets to us, to a simple person cutting us off the road, to our order not being right at the restaurant, do we react or do we respond? Now, in a quick way, I want to say to you this. If we react to things, it usually has a downward effect. We're usually apologizing. I'm sorry, I was having a bad day, I just reacted. Or would it be better to respond? Take a moment, take a deep breath, say a prayer, meditate, count to 10. Whatever you need to do, but think about it. I like to say, I call it the filtration system, filter things. Because I guarantee you that we will be apologizing less to people about situations if we respond. I guarantee you that by the time we get through this, up to the beginning of reading of this book, we're going to be able to really feel the difference from not living in regret land and to responding to things and other great things we're going to share together on this journey. But please take a moment to respond. It'll keep us in a better mindset, a more peaceful setting, and again, our outcome will be a lot more positive by us not always reacting to things. It takes us a moment to process. Now, next week, I want to share briefly about that, and that's going to be about something completely different from the book, and that's called Just Because. The whole chapter is called Just Because, and that's going to be about embracing things and doing things just because you're a great person. The more we train ourselves to do certain things in a positive way, not live in regret land, not live in what if land, to respond and not to react, we will ultimately change the platform of how we live and, more importantly, how we view life. Look at the bottom of your screen, you'll see this week's challenge homework that we're all going to go through. Share your input back with me. A lot of you last week told me via email that you did your 5 things. I loved it. Thank you for sharing that with me. And let's continue on this journey, having a great time, preparing us to live now, not in the past, not worrying about the future, but embracing today. I'm going to quote one of my favorite authors for this week's quote, Napoleon Hill. Whatever the mind can believe and conceive, it will achieve. Keep it real, keep it simple. I'll see you next week.